So I was wrong about this chapter of Chainsaw Man, and with that, I'm a man of my word. So I went out and I bought some habanero peppers today, and I'm gonna be honest with you, this is gonna probably hurt. This is probably going to hurt. So I'll take one of these in just a second. I got this. I got me some paper towels because I'm probably going to be crying and having like snot come down my nose. But before I get into really trying to dive in deeply into this chapter, there is something that does need to be said while I'm able to say it without in pain of the fiery habanero. Who would have thought that Fujimoto, the author of Chainsaw Man, would make a manga about hormonal teenagers, mainly Denji, wanting to either kiss someone, touch someone's boobs, and then eventually have sex, which, he even clarifies here in chapter, 127. Who would have thought that, Denji's main motivations and being hormonal and all that would lead to them, teenagers doing hormonal things in chapter 168, and it's just like, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that that is what this chapter would have been about? And on top of that as well, one thing I want to point out is that it feels so amazing. I feel so vindicated that this chapter pretty much establishes that there really was no assault whatsoever, because the big point here is that Asa's very emotions, which I pointed out with my follow-up video last week, straight up was given to Yoru, and that's even admitted. And Asa herself in this chapter, instead of worrying about having some goo on her hands, so to speak, the one thing that she was worried about over anything was the fact that, why'd you kiss him? And she didn't want to be seen as a slut. That's it. That's literally the big concern. So it was nothing else. So the fact that that was her main concern just shows that, yes, she really did want to do these things with Denji. It's just Yoru being a demon, and, she just enacted on those emotions of Asa. But with that being said, though, I guess I kept you guys waiting long enough. I'm going to be taking a pepper now, and just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna try to review this chapter, okay? If I do a bad job with this chapter review, I'm going to do a follow-up video, so do expect that one if this video isn't coherent, because depending on how this pepper affects me, I might have to cut the video short. Just going to be completely blunt. You could probably see by the timestamp how long the video is, depending on how bad this pepper is about to mess me up. I used to eat a lot of habaneros, not gonna lie, but it's been a while since I have, so my tolerance for heat has definitely dwindled quite a bit, because I used to be someone that would put, like, ghost pepper powder, etc. in my food, and now, like, I eat a jalapeno and I get really burnt up, so this is about to hurt. So I guess, yeah, let's get ready for this. Okay. Oh, that's hot. Oh, yeah. That's really hot. Now, to get right into this chapter of Chainsaw Man, straight up, is amazing for a variety of reasons. Holy hell. That's real hot. Whew. But, Denji's reaction is basically post-nut clarity. God. Oh, man. Basically, Denji's reaction here, he's more or less someone that is processing if Asa and Yoru actually like him, instead of actually, like, he's processing, I'm already starting to drool. Woo! I got a cave. Oh! 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 Oh, that's nasty. still can't. I can't feel my mouth, man. Okay. Man, these little fuckers. They're killing me, man. It's been a while. I'm weak now. Yeah, whew. Okay. Let's talk about this chapter now that the punishment's out of the way for the lie. That might be the last time I do a bet for a while, because that didn't feel good. But anyways, getting into this chapter, Denji has how can we say, post-nut clarity. The man straight up, he finally got what he always wanted. Sexual intimacy with someone of the opposite sex. And Yoru obviously enacted on Asa's feelings. And in this chapter, she basically says, I don't like you, after Denji says, do you like me? And Denji gets a lot of mixed signals here, because obviously, in this moment, you have it to where, she says gross after having the goo on her hand, and, she wipes it off and stuff. It's a pretty standard reaction, honestly, first time, etc. It's a very, very standard reaction. But, basically, she's like, I only kissed you because it felt good. And then he's like, why'd you kiss? And then she's like, I only kissed you because it felt good. Don't get cocky. It's clear that Denji didn't really believe, what she said at first. And then she said this. And this entire panel here is very tsundere. Like, Japan has tropes and stuff. Very tsundere-like characters and stuff. And obviously, Yoru and Asa have been depicted to some degree to be like a tsundere. And so when you see this is a very tsundere-like reaction, basically saying, don't get the wrong idea, baka, the stuff like that, pretty much those type of lines you would see in a manga/anime. So it pretty much implies, yes, she did really enjoy it. It wasn't just because it felt good. There was more to it than that, because there was romantic feelings hidden underneath. Obviously, Denji looks at her, he's staring at her, and as she's, contemplating what's going on, she stares at his lips again. She enacts upon her overall, feelings once again, and kisses Denji. Now, I want to point something out, that this sequence definitely heavily implies this side of, Yoru/Asa's face, because, we have the scar here, which shows that Yoru is in control, but in this moment, you see that it kind of hides the scar. And it shows the side of, Asa's face that doesn't have the scar, which implies, in my opinion, that this is Asa enacting on feelings, not Yoru, and she kissed Denji in this moment. It wasn't necessarily Yoru. So that's the feeling I got with the way they zoom in on the eye. Man, that pepper is still messing with my mouth. Like, bro, I gotta spit. Like, it's crazy. And so after the kiss happens, Denji's like, do you like me? And then she's like, I don't like you, while still blushing at that, by the way. Like, who's gonna believe that? While still blushing. And then Denji's like, huh? And all that. And then she's like, only the other me likes you. Her feelings flowed into me. And so once again, this moment is a very fascinating one, because at this moment in time, Denji is unaware of Yoru. He doesn't really know what Asa/Yoru is. He is unaware of exactly, it's two people in one body. And so in this, he might just believe that maybe Asa/Yoru is just a schizo or something. Like, that's what he can maybe think from this. Maybe she just has a dual personality or something. He doesn't really know. But the point is that she does admit in this moment, right after saying she doesn't like him, that she does like him. So this contradiction right here starts to weigh in more on the confusion with Denji's reaction here. Because after she says this, his reaction isn't necessarily more of negative. It's more of just like, huh? Like, is she really saying this? Basically saying that someone actually likes me. And it's not about, being used or anything. It's not about, someone tried to manipulate me to take down a certain devil, etc. No, it's straight up someone actually admitting they like me. And then she's like, I'm hungry too, which confirms what Denji was saying in the previous chapter as well, wanting to get some food. So Denji's overall reaction here is more or less of just a hormonal teenager not really knowing what to think or how to feel, because it's like you're put in this situation where two people that are obviously teenagers, they are having their first moment of true intimacy. Like, this isn't really any full manipulation or anything going on here. Obviously, the circumstances could have been a lot better, but the point of the matter is that Denji did theoretically get what he wanted. I mean, look at these previous chapters here. You know, he literally says it himself what he actually wants. I'll zoom in here. You know, he says it, and you know, this is something that has been known for a while, what Denji's always wanted, but it's more than that. It's more than just him wanting, like, you know, a sexual activity. He also wants, you know, intimacy and comfortability and, you know, just wants security as well. That is definitely something Denji definitely wants. And I think that overall, the reaction of, you know, stuff we've seen from Asa and also from Yoru as well, to what it would feel like to be in a moment of intimacy really does explain the current feelings and emotions that they're feeling in this moment here. Like, we go here, like, this is what she says a while back in chapter, 124, she's like, I have trust issues, but I'm lonely, so once in a while I approach someone, aka Denji, but something always goes wrong, and I get hurt, and then I wind up all alone again. Basically, Asa doesn't want to be alone. She wants to have somebody. She wants to, once again, have something very similar to Denji. She wants comfort. She wants security. She wants to be able to be herself and be with someone and be a klutz and stuff. She wants to be able to trust in someone completely. And so in this moment, we get to see a little bit more of the inside of what she wants as well. And so this moment between the two, it's both characters that are having a lot of emotions, and what they want comes to the surface. Denji wants to, like I said, have sexual activity, but he also wants a girlfriend. Asa, you know, is kind of in a similar boat. She wants to be with someone, have security as well. So these very feelings is just very, you know, I guess case in point, hormonal teenagers. That's literally it. That is the depth of this chapter. There's nothing too crazy and that is so deep that is hard to understand. It's just pretty much two people having a very intimate moment, and then processing their feelings after that fact. Denji is processing it in a way to where it's like post-nut clarity, but also, this page is really good, by the way. I love the artwork of this, but it's also in a way, the way he's processing this is like, does she really like him? Does he like her? He's just putting all of these romantic feelings and emotions he currently feels for the very first time in his head, and he's playing them out probably like a record, trying to wonder, you know, how does he feel about the situation? Does he want to move forward with this relationship? Does he want to pursue it, etc.? That is definitely what he is thinking about throughout this chapter. When you see just his reaction, how he just seems so shocked or deadpanned, etc., it's because he just doesn't know what he should feel at this moment. Like, does he, you know, does she love him, so to speak? Does she truly love him? Has he found someone? Does he want to make her his girlfriend? So, I don't know. Like I said, the chapter isn't necessarily too deep. It's not by any means. It's just, it's typical teenager shenanigans, honestly. And I feel like anyone trying to go even further than that is really, I just think, going too far with it. Personally, in my opinion. There's nothing wrong if you want to dive and overanalyze things. But I will say, though, this right here, Death by, Sushi, Fujimoto, I know what you did here. I'm just going to say, there's two ways to look at this. For one, Death by Sushi could imply that we're going to see the Death Devil. We could definitely see that. We know that the Death Devil exists to some degree, so that could be what is going to happen here. We could potentially meet Death Devil. We might meet Komedi, potentially. But I also want to say the reference to this Death by Sushi is 100% a reference to Death by Snoo Snoo. Anyone that knows what that is could definitely say that is what, Fujimoto is implying. I mean, hell, let's look at the chapter title here, okay? I mean, this chapter is literally titled this, Kiss Love, and yeah, just it literally speaks for itself. So, Fujimoto is obviously very, acquainted with degeneracy and things that are more of the intimate nature, so to speak. So, thinking of a shop that's called Death by Sushi, he most likely was doing a cultural thing of Death by Snoo Snoo. So yeah, that's my headcanon. I might be wrong there, but I just wanted to point that out. But overall, a pretty fascinating chapter of Chainsaw Man overall, even if it isn't, like, too deep. It just, I like seeing this, because if there's one thing that this chapter does confirm, is that, yes, the feelings that Asa has was genuine, and basically everything that Yoru did was what Asa wanted. It just, Yoru enacted upon that. And she wasn't upset about the whole goo on her hand. She was more concerned about her own image and how he would view her. That's literally the big thing that she is worried about. Like, here, I will literally show this panel for people to see. She is more worried about her image and how he will view her than anything else. And because of that, that just shows that, yes, she truly does not mind what happens. She wants to be viewed in a good light. He doesn't want to shove him away. So that's a big deal there. But, with that being said, I want to wrap up this video. It was, quite a video. I don't think I'll make a bet for a while. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for enjoying my pain with a habanero. It was still fun. But thank you so much, guys. I love you. Be safe. Stay healthy. Chibi out.